So question number 5 from last night was, all candidates have stated they want to keep Douglas County rural. How do you plan to do this? What does rural mean to you?
Well, the way we, in my opinion, the way we keep our county rural is um, we need to have smart growth. I mean, we need to have growth, sustainable growth. That's how um, uh, we collect our tax revenue. That's how we're able to provide services to our residents. Uh, I think moderate growth is fine. We could certainly adhere to um, uh, the growth management ordinance that we have on the books right now. But I think what a lot of people don't understand is, when you drive north or south on 395 and you look at all the beautiful ranch lands all the way to the Sierras, uh, people say, well, I want to enjoy this. Why don't we just let ranchers continue to ranch? Um, but, how do we as a community help our ranchers to sustain their livelihood? They endure a lot of mounting economic and social and family pressures to continue ranching. We certainly don't want a rancher to pass on and not have his ranch uh, uh, go to his kids who have to sell it uh, to a developer, or to break it up into 19-acre parcels just to pay the estate taxes on it. I wouldn't want that to happen. So um, we need to find a way where we can help the ranchers. And I just mentioned under the TDR program, um, back in 2007 when we purchased the TDRs from the Gillespie Ranch, that gave that family almost $500,000 to put in the bank and to sustain their operations. That's how we can keep uh, the ranches and the ranch lands green. Um, I think, like I said before, we need to have some form of moderate growth, but I think we ought to concentrate that in the areas where we have urban services, like the town of Minden and Gardnerville, for example, or up in North County on Topsy Lane. Um, we need to concentrate growth there because we do have infrastructure there, sewer and water infrastructure. We have roads. We have the Muller Parkway, which is going to be built around Minden and Gardnerville. We have the employment centers. We have commercial and retail centers close by. Um, um, our largest employer in Douglas County, other than the casinos, is um, Baker Hughes out on Orchard Road. Um, so those types of developments that are concentrated close to these types of facilities and services is where we need to concentrate growth. And as I mentioned before, um, if the park ranch were ever developed up to the maximum of 2,500 units, that would preserve thousands of acres in Douglas County. It would just help retain our rural character. Um, I'd like to see us really come through with the town's plans for prosperity. The town of Minden Gardnerville have a joint plan for prosperity and to make us more of a quaint little village. And I think that would really help the feel of the Central Valley. So that's how I would plan to keep the county rural. Try to protect those ranch lands as best we can from ever being developed or ever even being developed into 19-acre parcels. There are some people that say, why don't we have um, um, large ranchettes all over the valley? Well, if you drive east on Toller Road, there's a subdivision there that is a 5-acre subdivision that was developed back in the 90s. And that was a ranch, part of a ranch. And those people who bought those 5 acres, it's tough for them to maintain any kind of greenery around their homes. And some of those ranches in dry years, they're all brown. And we don't want that. So we don't want brown out in the middle of the valley. And we have a very intricate not irrigation, but irrigation distribution system for the ranches, a ditch system that runs all over the valley. And you can't have um, people building hodgepodge little ranchettes all over the valley without affecting the ranchers upstream that receive water through these ditch systems. So uh, I think the best bet to do is to concentrate growth in the urban areas and maintain our ranch lands so we can all enjoy for forever, hopefully. Thank you.